Hi everyone, today I am with another empowering woman. We are going to open up and tell you about her story. So let's just jump right into it. Let's have you introduce yourself, talk about your age, like where you are in your life right now, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I'm Daneirys Rivera. I'm 18. I'm currently going to UConn for college. I'm going to be competing in my first semester of trying to get into school business. If that fails, then I'm going to be in sociology.
Awesome. That sounds like a good path you have ahead of you.
I'm so ready, actually. So
that's awesome. So last year, was it, you were Youth of the Year, right, for Boys and Girls Club. So can you tell us about what Youth of the Year means and how you got into that position?
Personally, Youth of the Year to me is an honor. As someone that has been through what someone would call struggles or accomplishments and being able to strive for not just yourself but others as well. So when I was nominated for one, I was honored to be there, and then going through the process of the essays and having to learn how to speak in front of people, I was super nervous. I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't even stand in front of people of 10. I would have flipped out. But then, like, going through the year and everything, usually I usually love to, broadcast my ideas and other people's ideas, so I get so nervous sometimes. So then when I got into Youth of the Year, it was like a path for me to open up to public speaking and being motivational because of what I've been through and what has brought me to the club and through everything I've done. So whenever I hear Youth of the Year, it's an honor. Like, I think, all right, this person must be top notch. Like, this person must have done something amazing. Like, you're great because of what you have done in your life and then what you're doing for others now. So it was tough, but it was good. Overcoming it was a really big obstacle. So I was even nervous to talk to the judges, and there was only 3 of them. Once I went through it, I was like, wait, all I have to do is be myself. Like, be myself, be confident in who I am as a person, because I haven't been acting all these years, which has got me to this point. So when I was speaking in front of the 3 judges, and then after practicing a while and having to speak in the recognition dinner, I was like, okay, this is about me.
I can't agree more. I remember I was so scared of public speaking when I was like a freshman in high school and even before that, but I knew I loved sharing stories with people. So once I changed that mindset and thought, you're the only one who knows your story, so if you mess up, no one's gonna know.
Yeah, and broadcast your voice and who you are, people are going to end up listening.
Yes.
So I mean, if you stay quiet in a corner and try to be like, oh, hi, no one's gonna really pay attention to what you're trying to say. And I think that goes for everybody. Yes, sometimes it's harder for women, but I think we have a louder voice, and if we do keep pushing ourselves to listen to me, this is what I'm saying, it's gonna be a lot more accomplishments. I think if we just keep on our 10 toes, no one can really push us off. So
they do say you can tell women's personalities by their body posture. Do you have any advice for that? When you're Youth of the Year, like walking on stage, you have to own yourself.
Yeah, so personally, me, every time I walk in a room, I usually just shake myself off, and I'm just like, I'm that girl.
Yes.
I'm that girl. I can do this. So walking in, sometimes I'll keep my head up and my shoulders high, and I'll look around instead of staring down or something. Unless I'm reading something or
Right.
I usually like to look around the room and be noticed. So I want you to notice that I see you and you see me, and I'm still walking in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm not intimidated by it. Or if I was walking on a stage, okay, I'm a little nervous, but when I walk on the stage, I'm looking at the crowd, so I'm walking and you know that I'm ready. Personally, I'm a little jokester, so I usually like to make people laugh before I start a speech, because hearing a person's comfort and laughter is okay, so this is gonna be easier. If I mess up, it's just gonna go with the flow, because now you have them. When you make someone laugh, it's a little comfort throws it in, okay, this person got the money.
Right.
Comfort. So that's how I think of it.
Yeah, I think people listening, they might think initially, oh, being confident means you have to be so serious. But really, no, it's being confident in who you are and how you brand yourself.
So my brand was education, through living and lower income and going through gang violence and everything. Education was kind of my weight. So my weight rule of the way out of there. So everyone usually sees you either book smart or street smart. And you hear that a lot, and that's kind of a saying that everyone says. And I think that The way I live was like, all right, I am street smart because I was aware of my surroundings where I grew up, but the book was usually my thing. So me knowing that I feel, me personally, I feel like if you're a woman with knowledge, you're 10 times more confident, attractive, and feeling better in yourself. If a woman knows what she's talking about, you're gonna listen, you know, because you're gonna be like, oh, okay, she's actually educated, she knows what she's saying. So education was more like, I'm gonna prove a point, I'm gonna learn this, and then if you try telling me I don't know, we can have a conversation.
Love that.
That's where I was. So like even in high school, I take HVAC.
Okay.
So when I started, freshman year, my own father didn't want me to start because he was like, all right, this is like a man shop. He was an older guy. I wanted it, I got it, and now many people can say that I'm actually like, I'm really good at sheet metal, and I'm probably better than some boys in my shop. So you know, that was more my goal, to learn something that you wouldn't see that's common. And then my second year was perseverance, and perseverance tied into what I've been through just even at my home place. Me always feeling like I was gonna fail as a person, and then it took me many years to be confident in myself, even in my body and who I am, feeling intelligent. And I can say that like a lot of my friends, the Boys and Girls Club, and people that were helping me, they pushed me to that limit. So like now I feel like I'm more confident in myself. Even though my body, I'm confident. The way I talk, I'm confident. So even though I messed up, I got to a point where it's like, everyone's messed up. Everyone's not perfect. So perseverance was my second year, which is the year I won. And it was just more of a, even though I fell down, I still got back up. That was my personal brand.
Yeah.
So
I think everyone should really like question what their personal brand is, and if they're not happy with it, then they can fix it.
I think people mess up so much. It's like, new year, new goal. But it's like every year you accomplish something, every week or day you do something, and that's an accomplishment. What's your goal for tomorrow? If everyone had a goal in life, it'd keep them on track and keep them more like on their toes, and okay, I'm good, I did this, and you could build a little bit more confidence, and you're like, all right, I'm good. Like, that's where I see it.
Well, now that we've talked about your Youth of the Year experience, to add on to that, you find yourself in the Boys and Girls Club a lot, right? That's where you spend a lot of your time.
A lot.
So what can you tell us about service? You know, how did you get started with service? What emotional tie do you have to it? Let's start with that.
Okay, so when I was about 11 or 12 years old, personally me, I felt like my life at home was going downhill. So I went towards the club and I started being there a lot. I did a lot of volunteer work. So since I've been volunteering since I was like 11 or 10, and maybe even before that, I just never noticed. I just did little things for the club. And then I started doing more volunteer work and coming almost every day after school and actually participating. And then as I got older, I got a position for a job. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna work here, but like, what do I do on the side? Like, do I volunteer still? So that's when I met the main club. So I worked at the clubhouse, but I always came here to volunteer for different hours. Everyone here shapes who you are. Like, it's just not discriminated or nothing. Like, everyone's just open. And that's what I love. It's diverse, and you can be whoever you want here, and it's like a safe zone. So I think that's what got me connected. And so the hours and serving was more like, this is my safe zone, and I feel comfortable here, and now this is like a part of my family.
Speaking of service, when people serve, they have closer connection to what diversity actually means and how to connect to people. And I feel like it's so important nowadays because we're in a society that really focuses on me, like it's all about me. You know, when in reality, it's about building each other up and meeting new people so that then you know how to communicate.
I couldn't agree with you more. Like, I'm actually really, really big on diversity and like people's rights and being able to accept others of who they are, especially now, even with people in this generation that you said is all about me. It's a lot of people that's all about me, and there's a lot of like different communities of people. I feel like it's more of like everyone's well-being, you know, poor, rich, and everything, and that's how I see diversity. So when someone's diversity, it's like, okay, diversity, what are you talking about? Color, your wealth, you know. And it's sad to say that everyone defines it that way.
Yes.
And to put it into like, oh yeah, this is diversity and this is what this is. Because it's like everyone is human. We all bleed the same. We're all the same color blood on the inside. And it's like, it's upset sometimes when people don't understand that there's other people in life besides just you. And I feel like that's what we're failing as a society, and even on social media has a really big role playing with that. It's like, okay, it's all about me, but what about you helping others, which is gonna build us as a community, as, you know, family, friends, anything. Because you can know someone for years and know someone for 10 minutes and have a better relationship with them than a person you knew for years. And that's just like the difference in opening your mind to people.
With these videos that we make under Identified Grace, which is my business, that goes along with the Activate Your Voice mission, which we're working on, where we're trying to see how you activate your voices. And really, activate your voice means exactly what you said. It means that you are understanding who you are as a woman, and you are standing up for yourself, because as women, psychologically speaking, we do tend to dull down our purposes sometimes because we put others before ourselves. And yes, that's wonderful. You want to do that through volunteering and everything, but when you're talking about your career or your life and what you're destined to do, you want to understand your 100% value and your 100% worth. And you might not understand that until you take that leap of faith and speak up for what you want. You know, the girl in the corner, you want her to speak up. So we're hoping that with these bracelets, you know, it's their superpower. You look at it, you think, okay, I'm really scared to talk in class right now, but I'm just going to say it, and I'm going to boldly activate my voice because my voice matters. And yes, we just talked about how the me society right now isn't good, but it's about understanding your worth. Because if you don't understand your worth, how are you supposed to understand others' worth?
Every woman should be able to put that face on, that intimidation face, where even if a man walks in the room, you're going to be intimidated because you know I know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And you know what I can bring to the table, and maybe I can do it better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I can do it better than anybody else, or maybe I won't, and maybe I can bring the same equal amount, but they'll listen to me because I had the confidence to do it.
Exactly.
And it can be something so little or something so big. As if you talk, they're going to listen.
Right, because your voice is literally the pinnacle of the path you take, because if you don't speak up for what you want, then you don't have that path. Identify Grace, that's the brand.
Yeah.
Identifying who you are as a woman in a graceful way, a mature way, a way where people are going to respect you and listen to you.
Sometimes, yeah, and I feel like sometimes it does take a little bit stepping on people's toes to let them know that you're serious. But like, I love what you're doing and like how you're trying to empower women, because I think that's what a lot of us lack in is identifying who we are and being comfortable with who we are as a person in our workspace and any kind of space that we're in. You know, I feel like women can be intimidated much easier than men can.
Yes.
And it's sad to say, because it's like, you're just a man and I'm just a woman.
Exactly.
And like I come back to, we bleed the same. We our bodies move, we walk and talk, and I feel like any quality that a man can have, a woman can definitely have.
Right.
And I feel like if a woman can see other people accomplish things, it's just like, all right, she did it.
Right.
Let me keep moving.
I think that's a great way to leave off on. So thank you everybody for listening to our stories, and especially listening to us working with the Boys and Girls Club. I mean, it's an awesome place. A side note from that, I definitely suggest finding one near you where you can either volunteer or work there, or even just enter and just see the opportunities.
The events and meeting people can also give you great opportunities. You know, you meet one person and now you have a chain reaction to millions of things. You know, met Melissa, and now it's like a chain reaction to doing a whole movement for her and helping her out. And I'm grateful to do that.
Be on the lookout for our next Women Empowerment series. We'll have more women coming your way. So get ready, get excited, and let's change the world. Let's change our worlds in a positive way.
Yes, activate your voices.
Yes, activate your voice.